Wow, whoa, wee, wah. Wow, whoa, wee, wah. I think a wise man once said, wow, whoa, wee, wah. All right, it's me. I'm here. I'm Rancid Nanners. It's time for some videoed games. I'm like a little bit frazzled today. Um, but well, let me roll that back a little bit. I've been like not doing the fucking whole intro thing that I like. It's like part of my brand, dare I say. But hello, I'm Rancid Nanners, otherwise known as Rancid, otherwise known as Nate, and we're gonna be risking some rains today. Let me get some friggin' Let me get the game open so I can just use the game's BGM, because like I learned recently that like I kind of suspected it, but it's weird because it wasn't like tanking performance in like a noticeable way. I think because the one thing my computer does have going for it is that I have a fuck ton of RAM. But one of my friends mentioned to me that like when they try to watch YouTube with ad block on Firefox, it was like not working basically. To like it would function. Hello, Tricky Banana. Thank you for coming by. Good to see you here in chat with your funky little dancing diver, like Dave the Diver. There's all kinds of davers. There's all kinds of davers these days. But anyway, yes, thank you for coming by. I was saying something. I got distracted. God damn it. Oh yeah. So the YouTube and the ad block and the browsers. Yeah, I was blabbering about how browsers like to just crumple apart nowadays when ad block is involved. Which like I don't have ad block on. I like have it so it's like I think what was it, whitelisting? Whitelisted on Twitch because I watch a bunch of my friends on Twitch. I want them to, get my AdSense and everything. But like I don't want to fucking whitelist on YouTube. That's ass. But yeah, like I have noticed like slight like a bit of a dip in the frame rate, when I have that open. So I'm just like I don't want to have YouTube open right now for the BGM just because I'm trying to get all my ducks in a row. Yo, bustin' ass Justin here. How's it going, my dude? Good to see you in chat. We're playing Risk of Rain today, which I realize that's like more in your wheelhouse than probably a lot of the other shit I play. Cause you're not much of a you're not much of a like a Souls guy, are you? Like I think a lot of the games I play are a little I don't want to say hardcore. That sounds so stupid. But like. My game design. You're a large Souls man? Well, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about then. But I guess I'm not like a Souls streamer per se. I just like I really like those games. I talk about them a lot, and I just did like the playthrough of Elden Ring. I did a Dark Souls 1 playthrough before that. Well, I think the Dark Souls playthrough is kind of like gearing up for Elden Ring. I think that's actually kind of why I did that. And then Elden Ring dropped, and I wasn't able to like stream it immediately. I didn't want to stream it immediately necessarily. Like, that's kind of the thing that was like interesting about Elden Ring's release because like I couldn't stream it. My computer could barely even play it, because I was still on Windows 7. So as far as Windows 7 was concerned, I literally could not. So I had to upgrade to 10. Elden Ring, less than Dark Souls, much less than M&M's. I think you might. I know you're doing like a thing here, but it's like, the greater than is supposed to be like because the open mouth wants to eat the bigger thing. I think you have that. I think you got it. Flipped. But anyway, there was a whole crisis with my computer. Running the game. Yeah, I know. I kind of sandbagged your joke there, but that was my counter, actually. Sometimes when someone hits me with like a really obvious joke, I'm just like, I don't get it. I don't know. That's just my humor. Tricky Banana, your joke is funny. I was just yes-anding it in my particular way. Patrick Galactic, welcome. Good to see some people. Good to see some people. You know, already, we're popping off. That's cool. That's exciting. Yeah. You know I'm joking. We're all it's jokes here. Like, it's funny. Like, I like to have your big joke star. I almost read that as joke star. Your certified Risk of Rain 2 master is here now. Is Patrick Galactic a Risk of Rain master? Or are you the who in chat right now is a Risk of Rain master? Because I'm not a Risk of Rain master. I'm a Mercenary master. Patrick has like 5,000 hours. Oh my god. Damn. All right. you 100%. Okay. Yeah. You're fucking for real. I'm just like, I just love the Cyber Ninja dude, and I play the game as him like 80% of the time. Like, it's funny you say 5,000 hours. Like, when I was logging in, or like setting this up last night to make sure everything worked, I saw like my player profile was like, oh, okay, yeah. I was gonna say it was like 300 something hours. I'm like, damn, that's a lot. I was totally taking Justin's word for it on the 5,000. Like, I believe it. More like Risk of Patrick too. Damn, you're right. Absolutely right. But yeah, like, catch me on Commando, I'll shit the bed. I can't fucking play Artificer. Some like the one plant guy. Not good with him. Not a fan of him. Well, let's get the video game. Come on, video game. Show me game. There we go. There's game. Merc is a cool duder though. Yeah, for sure. Like, when this game was in beta, like, I literally exclusively played as this guy. My second favorite nowadays though, probably Bandit. I really like going for the backstabs. That whole mechanic of him has just enough mobility. Really fun character, but that's like, I want to use a shotgun, so I like him for that. Because before Bandit, I like Captain because I like the shotgun. It's weird because, like, I don't like shotguns in shooters really, but like, I don't know. I tend to be a pretty aggressive player, so they just kind of work with my playstyle a lot of the time. But no artifacts, just doing some standard ass monsoon, and we're gonna try to kill a fucking Voidling. So, ugh. Right, there's a tangent I was on before I want to like get into it though. Because I was saying, like, I like to have insightful discussions about game design, and I like to have, you know, I like to talk about the goings-on of the world, sort of. You know, I like to hypothesize and philosophize, as it were. But also, I'm just a bit of a gamer, you know, I'm just here to play some video games. So there's some give and take there, but, man, I have a lot of things on my mind as far as, society goes, communication through the internet goes. I was talking with my partner about it last night, because she stumbled into an article while she was at work that kind of talked about some of that. I need loader mains. Yeah, loaders, I respect the loader mains. Loader, like, they're not my kind of melee guy, but, I mean, I like the grapple fist. I like fucking, like, yeeting myself with gravity and stuff like that. Like, that's fun. And, like, Acrid's fun, but I'm, like, really bad with him, and haven't cleared Monsoon with him. But, alright, let's get into what's fucking Ninja Man. Okay. Am I a game designer? Asked Tricky Banana. Like, I wish, basically. Oh, let me move my head, actually. I'm in the way of information. Like, I want to be a game designer. I feel like I have, like, a good mind for it. I just haven't been, like, put in a position where, like, I can do that. Like, Worse RNG had, like, an idea for, like, a card-based role-playing game of some sort. And I was like, yo, I want to get in there, you know? Like, any friends of mine If they're like making a game, I'm like, yo, let me like put my 2 cents in there. The only like game design stuff I really get to do for myself is like D&D campaigns and shit like that. But that definitely, it feels like it scratches that itch. You know, like I do still get to design, like I have a game system and I get to design like stuff around that game system and take what 5e has and like, you know, find the best in it, find like what can make for, you know, the most compelling encounters, fun magic items. Like, one of the things that I think really kind of got me to do that with, like, 5e in particular was, one of like, I would say 5e specifically, because I can't really say, I can't speak for the earlier editions of, Dungeons & Dragons, but, 5th edition's, like, biggest problem is player progression, because, part of it is because most of the magic items out of the book are, like, too strong. So you just can't give your players any items out of the book until they're, like, 5th level, or else it'll make them too strong. And that sucks. So you pretty much, like, do you just fast forward through the early levels and then get to that point? Like, you can do that. But I definitely, like, I like how Baldur's Gate 3 kind of went the route of like, yeah, what if there were just some magic items that were like, okay, you know? And like some of them, like the speedy reply, it's like, yo, you can like use that for a fucking launch. Like, I think the way they balance the magic items is very good. And a lot of it is kind of, like, not to toot my own horn, but, you know, I was doing most of my work on D&D campaigns and stuff long before Baldur's Gate 3 came out. And a lot of it kind of, like, I was designing in the same direction. D&D less than M&M's, much less than WoW. Interesting. Interesting equation there. Maybe controversial, but you enjoyed the combat of Divinity 2 more than Baldur's Gate 3? I don't know if that's very controversial. From anybody who's actually played Divinity 2, I haven't. And a lot of people that have played Baldur's Gate 3 haven't either. Divinity is also a lot harder from what I hear. And I don't necessarily want things to be super fucking hard. Like, I think the difficulty of Baldur's Gate is, that's generally where I want it to be, where it's like, yeah, pay attention. Is really all they ask for you, is just like, pay attention to the fucking game. You know, like, whether that means pay attention to your options, pay attention to what the enemies can do, what they're weak to or immune to. They just want you to fucking pay attention to the game, and like, I'll do that. But it's punishing enough that if you're just fucking around, like, you'll get fucking killed. Other people will get killed. A lot of when Baldur's Gate 3 is hard is when it's like, when they have things going on in the encounters that aren't just your own survival. Because, like, I don't want to let anybody die, ever. And that definitely makes the game a lot harder. Like, there's some shit in Act 3 that I don't really want to, like, go into or spoil or anything, where, like, if I wasn't on my bullshit, I don't think I would have, like I probably would have survived, you know? And there's a lot in the game where, like if a character dies, like, you can just bring it back, you know? But to me, that's just kind of like a quality of life thing because of how it's designed with, like, named characters and all that shit. The only fight you needed multiple attempts on is the finale of House of Hope. I mean, and that's fine. Like, I don't necessarily want to be, like, bashing my head against, like, the same encounter over and over again. But, like, there's been times where, like, I actually redid an encounter because I'm like, I could have done that better. I wanted to do, like, this funny move, you know? And honestly, like, I feel like that's a testament to, like, how fun the encounters are in that game. Because, like, it's not a fucking chore if you do have to redo something. Or if you, like I said, I just wanted to redo something. But House of Hope, I think I died. No, I don't know. Did I? Oh, I remember what happened. I saw that a certain character had their was it not channel divinity, the divine intervention thing. They had that, and I was just like, that's pretty crazy. What if I did my big blast and then I forgot how sanctuary worked because I tried to do a thing, and then it's like, oh, that counted as an offensive thing, and then basically she nuked herself because everything had the like radiant like reflect thing or whatever the hell. I could have gone to the scrapper, but I don't like void items, you know? But yeah, I accidentally nuked the one character. I was just like, oh, I should maybe reload that save. Like, I could have, by all means, like, completed the fight, I'm sure. But that's like a big fuck up that I didn't want to stick with. Yeah, the same thing happened too? Okay, cool. Yeah, you know, it happens to the best of us. But, I guess if that was like your reset, then we had the same amount of trouble with it. Which is to say, like, the fight was challenging enough. Like, I had to bring my A game, and then it worked. And honestly, like, that's some good game design, I would say. It's like, you need to feel pressured enough to fucking try, and then it feels good when trying works. So, that's all it really is. I'm fucking going to die because I have no access to it. I just realized. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm super... I super fucked up here. Real good. That's fine. But the, I guess I'll just say, the underwater mission in Baldur's Gate 3 is that is an ordeal no matter what you do. And I insisted that everybody survive the situation. So that took, I think it took 2 attempts because, partway through the first attempts, like, I realized, like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna be able to save, like, this person, that person. That mission was the only time you got annoyed during the game. I mean, it has to be the hardest part of the game. And I think it's kind of, like, intended to be. I don't mind it being as because it's a situation, man. They put you in a goddamn situation. I don't really know why I wanted to get the blue portal here. Oh shit! Give me that stupid whip! Fuck. I guess if there's like a good uncommon here, because most of my commons are garbage. What's my good uncommon? The slug? Yeah, no, all these comments suck. Why not? My comments are all bad. I don't care too much about that. We're not getting beads, because we're not... No beads anyway. And, too early to go to the void. I believe if you don't go to the portal down here, you can just come back through here and get to it. Because I would want to go there after, like stage 4 or something. Like, I'm not, like, speedrunning the Voidling. That's fucking... I don't know about all that. I'm sure it's plenty doable, especially with, like, Mercenary because of their innate mobility. Because there's shit, like, you have to move around against the Voidling because of, like, the just entire zones that turn into danger. You know? It ain't good. I could also use some fucking attack speed. But, yeah, back to the whole, like, what game do I design shit, though. Yeah, like, because also, like, I play a lot of games that are hard, I guess, but, like, whenever a game's, like, entire, like, point is that it is fucking hard, I tend to not enjoy them very much. So, that... You know, me saying, like, oh, I don't know if you play the Souls games, this might be a little hardcore. Yeah, way fucking off base. I think Bust and Justin busting a bit harder than I do. And part of it is like, you know, I'm not the fucking professionalist gamer to ever exist. I just think I have good insights onto like what makes games fun to like actually play. And that's also why I like 5th edition of Dungeons and Dragons so much, just because like out of all of the editions of D&D, it's the best game to play. And like I've always approached D&D as like yeah, it is a unique type of game because you're sitting down with people and it's like this constructive narrative, collaborative narrative experience and everything. I think that's a very important part to tabletop games, like, of course. But there are types of people where all they want is storytelling. And then when gamey stuff happens in D&D, they're like, that's bad, and I don't agree with that at all. Like, there are a lot of kind of like superfluous rules within 5e that are just kind of like there because of the old editions of the game and stuff. But like, I don't think for any issues that 5e has, too many rules I don't think is one. And like, I think 5e also struck a good balance of like kind of taking a lot of the good kind of tactical stuff of 4th edition and like refining that and balancing it out a little better, making it so not every class felt the same. But that all said, one of the things that I really like in Baldur's Gate is straight out of 4th edition, which is the whole thing of like melee, well, any weapon, any martial weapon, oh great healing, any martial weapon, if you're proficient, there's like at least one special move you can do like once a short run, you know? Like that's great. That makes martial classes feel like, oh, I can do like a, oh, shit, okay. I guess we have an extra life. But yeah, like you, fuck. Lost my train of thought. I was so surprised to see a rare, and then I was like a little bit disappointed by that rare. Oh yeah, with the fucking fighting moves and shit. Because like you don't need to make your fighter into a goddamn sword wizard, as like that's kind of the comparison people would always make. But like, you know, give them something. You know, like let them have like a trip attack or like a little something. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. But also, like, a lot of those things do benefit from having, like, an actual, like, user interface. Because one of my, like, mistakes, I would say, that I made the most, as a DM trying to give cool items to my player, you like sword wizards? I do too, don't get me wrong. And, yes, I'm also familiar with the Magus, which, I didn't need to fucking go there. I remember when I first played Pathfinder with you, Justin, I was like, yo, I want to be a spell sword, how do I do that? And then you were like, this guy. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of spell swords. I made a whole fucking class for 5e, the Battle Mage, which I'm playing in one of my friend's campaigns, which, unfortunately, like, that campaign's, like, really easy. Like, it doesn't need to be fucking ball dick hard. It's a strange way to measure difficulty. But like, so it's been hot bit since you've seen stuff about it. Yeah, I don't know when Magus was like implemented. I just know when I played it, I was like, I want to be this kind of a guy. They're a spell and sword class, yes. If I remember correctly, like I had like a handful of just normal spells, and I believe I did have a thing of like I could channel magic through my sword to make it do like elemental damage, which is like, that's the big thing. That's the thing that I personally really want to do, is like empower my weapon with magic. That is always the coolest shit. And like second to that, like I'll also fully accept like shit like just like conjuring a weapon that is completely made of magic. Like Flame Blade is a fucking cool ass spell in D&D. lightning arrow, any of like the ranger spells that you like enchant your arrow with magic, like that shit's cool too. That bleed. I think because I wasted like a lot of time on that first stage, I might just like, oh, there's some chests over here. I don't want to stray too far from the portal because I gotta like get moving, and it's fine. Like I totally did not like actually do like a warm-up game at all. I just made sure that like the capture worked. So I'm like, yeah, I play Risk and Rain all the time. It's fine. I totally have not played this game in like a month. So I'm a little bit rusty. Maybe jumping into Monsoon, not the greatest idea, but you know, I want to make it interesting. But yeah, what I was gonna say though for my homebrew class, like, because I wanted to like play test them, and one of like the things about them too is like they're kind of designed to be like an arcane paladin, because I feel like you have your like half martial, your martial caster classes in the form of paladin and ranger, and not really artificer. Artificer is just a weird ass caster with like some goodies. And I guess there's some overlap with that with what I was doing with Battle Mage that I was about to get into. Is like, okay, your paladin's got divine sense, this guy's got magic sense. So they get like remote caffeinator. Oh, I don't. That thing has come in clutch before. If you got the fucking fireworks, that thing's actually like a secret missile machine. Yeah, it's like a health vending machine, but when it's like also a missile vending machine, that's the real sauce. But yeah, so like I designed the class, they have the magic sense thing, they have like kind of a thing of like, oh, because they have like bounce weapon, like Eldritch Knight, so like having a magic sword, just a magic weapon, is like something they're kind of expected to do. And the DM, because we started at like 6th or 7th. Oh, okay, bye. I just got like a sudden burst of speed and just needed that bell guy. Alright, I need to get to the portal. I also didn't even pick this up. That's epic. But, so they let me pick a couple magic items to start out with. I'm just like, yeah, Sword of Wounding, Axe of Giant Slaying, like, they're not that complicated. They're right out of the book. I already homebrewed this class. I don't want to, like, bring my homebrew weapons into the mix, because I'm trying to, like, playtest them, but, like, the DM is, like, how do I put it? It's not that they're too scared of, like, killing us. They just, like, really don't want us to die. But then, like, I don't know, things are a little too easy to my liking. But, like, a lot of people in that campaign are, like, pretty, like, they're I would say they're just novice, like, D&D-ers in general, you know? So I think that's part of it, too, is, like, there's, like, a couple of fucking babies in the party. So, like, the DM feels like it's almost necessary to pull some punches, but I don't like that. I don't really like when the DM be pulling punches. It's at least in character for me to just, like, charge headfirst into, like, every battle, because my character is also kind of inspired by Steiner from the FF9. I'm basically Hobgoblin Steiner, which is loads of fun to play, at least, like as far as role-playing goes. But I just wish that, like, I could kind of stress test the Spellblade a little more. Because I'm, like, also, there's... God, I'm trying to remember. I had, like, there's, like, a totally not arcane trickster. Spellblade is the battle mage that's, like, the most fighting one. And then there's, like... I don't even fucking remember my own archetypes. But I had 3. I think the third one was, like, kind of took the idea of, like, Arcane Archer and made it more of a thing. We played a lot of the 40k RPGs, so we're well adapted to danger and dying. You know, I actually have too. And that's another thing that as far as how I like to run D&D is concerned, I actually take a lot from my experience with those games. Like, something I liked about the system, which I don't know if they still, because I think they moved away from the D100 system, but at least when they were using that, there was like the degrees of success, where like I'll tend to kind of like set DCs at like yeah, this is like 10 you'll succeed, or like maybe it's kind of high to like get all the information. You like D100 a lot more than D20? Yeah, like there's definitely stuff about it that can be good, and like I kind of adapt like degrees of success into like the D20 system of 5e, and it works. It's kind of something you like you feel out, at least the way I do it. Like I don't have like all of the hard fixed numbers for degrees of success, because it's also a smaller scale you're working with. Because generally for the 40k RPGs, it was like it was always just by like an amount of 10s. Like every 10 is another degree of success or failure. And I like doing that a little more than just like a hard pass or fail, to have like some more gradient there of like, what is a success? What was good enough? What wasn't? Because like a lot of the time also, like if a player, like they have a skill proficiency and they want to use it, and like I don't want to just be like, oh yeah, you just do it and there's no problems that arose. Like the dice kind of, yeah, it's to see like how good of a job did you like really do, rather than just like a pass fail, you know. And like people there's like this weird sentiment that came out around like the whole like fucking, what was it, the like thing with Wizards when they were going to like 1D&D and people were like shitting their pants about like Dungeons and Dragons like licensing stuff. So it became cool to hate D&D. People would like develop this assumption that fans of the system, well, they've just never played any other tabletop games. They need to just play a different game. And let me tell you, I like a lot of things about those 40k RPGs. I like 5e a lot more. I've played, not like every fucking tabletop under the sun, but I've played enough to have some kind of context. And then when it came to 5e, I'm just like, yeah, there's a lot to enjoy here. Isn't that fucking crazy? It's almost like it's the 5th iteration of like a huge gameplay system, and like there's a lot of refinement here, especially if you do pay attention to like any other source books that came out later. Like I said, 5e, not perfect, and one of the other issues with it is the classes aren't the most balanced. Like Ranger had a bunch of abilities that, you know, in actual practice are kind of useless. Monk, they can kind of lag behind in damage compared to like a Paladin. But there's not a whole lot of work you need to do to kind of remedy those things. And a lot of the ideas that I've had that do remedy those issues do come from playing other games. But the core of 5e is good. It is a fun like game system to actually design in. Because yeah, if 5th edition sucked, I would just be writing 40k campaigns. Like, I don't even like fantasy that much, you know? But clearly they're doing something right. So, yeah, like, I like 5e is kind of my whole point. It's good. It's a good time. It's a good slime, and I like it. It just like I do feel like I probably could make my own D&D system that just kind of trims all the fat I don't like of 5e, but that's also kind of just being a DM, isn't it? Like, I don't know if I really have to make a whole different system, just because I wish that a couple classes were organized a little bit differently. Because, like, I was also talking with my partner last night about Monk, because the last session of my friend's campaign where I'm the battle mage, the monk in the party was MVP, unquestionably. And a lot of it was because of their mobility and the map we were on. And I feel like, yeah, in a vacuum, monk is probably weaker than some of the other martial classes. But if anything interesting is happening, they can be, like, the most versatile. And that is a type of power in its own right. Like, our fucking Cavalier couldn't get up to the action because they were too slow. And they also took a bad route on the map. But I thought the map was, like, a really cool map to fight around in, because there's a lot of, like, elevation and shit. You've been playing D12 Savage Worlds. Do you just think it's okay? I don't think I heard much about Savage Worlds. Yeah, I don't know much about it. I'd be curious to hear. But yeah, you say it's super popular, I'm just like, what the fuck is that? So, who knows how in the loop I really am. Where the hell? I think I need to just get to the portal. I've been wasting so much time. And I have like no XP kind of ball. I got plenty of like good items, I just need to like keep. You did like Deadlands, it uses that system. It's like Western horror cyberpunk. Interesting. I want to look into cyberpunk a little more, Cyberpunk Red, because I have heard some good things about how the system works. But it's like, I feel like it could work well with kind of how I do run encounters, even in like 5e, because like everybody will do their stuff. They'll go through their turn, and like kind of like towards the end of a turn order or like at the top of the turn, I'll kind of like go through everything that happened and be like, okay, this is, you know, this person hit this guy, and then they got hit into like the fireball, and then the fireball fucked them up really good, so now they're all burnt and get them, you know? Where like I remember hearing stuff with Cyberpunk where like you kind of do all of your rolls and then run through like, okay, how did this play out with all of the information, which I think is kind of interesting. I'm like pushing this. Fuck you, damn it! All these, I'm supposed to be the flying man, and I'm like fucking it up over here. I am the flying ninja, alright? I achieve flight, I'm like a bird, but I'm a ninja, and I fucked it up again. This guy. Yeah, I like tried to hit him with my R and they got pushed. You're not supposed to do that. Why are they being affected by physics damage? Hi-ya. Okay. Yeah, just don't get beamed on. Because this guy, the Zai construct is like, I'm sure they can kill you, but I've never really been endangered by them. You know, there's definitely like the grandparent just summons a goddamn son and you just melt. I wouldn't say it's unfair, but sometimes you can get kind of fucked up with that. Oh no! Okay, I thought I was gonna fall off the ledge. You know, I don't like the fucking Hapu fruit very much, but that has been coming with the clutch. Oh shit! If any of yours wanted to try a new tabletop game, bought some 100 games so he's cycling through them. Shit. Fuck. Oh, no, we're fine. I mean, like, I'm not gonna just die if I fall off the ledge, but, like, I'll probably die. You know what I mean? Also, there are a lot of these monsters. Get out of here. Oh no! Okay, I gotta focus. I want to read what's going on in chat, but all these guys are spawning. Keep not fucking getting those. Get over here, dude! Come on. I think it's something else that kind of helps Mercenary against this guy is like when they cover themselves in turrets. If I like, if I expose all of them, that's like. $3.99. Come on, it's almost done. Okay. Yeah, I gotta fucking kill this stupid polygon. There we go. Yeah, bye. I love, like, when I can just push a bitch into a wall with my dash. That shit's always fun. Woo, okay. Neat. Defense nucleus. When I kill these. I feel like they changed that. I thought it just gave me, just gave me guys. Okay, but let's take a pause real quick here. Take a look at chat. Ooh, okay. So, cycling through the games. Never played it before. Seems fine so far. You like the raise system of rolling max. Buddy exactly like that. Buying discounted random game books through drive-through RPGs. Pretty lucky. Guy lives close enough to Dragon Con. Oh, so he just buys everything when he goes. That's pretty cool. But fuck yeah. I think that there's definitely benefits to, like, playing other tabletop games, but the assertion that people like one just because they haven't played others is kind of fucking nuts. Like, that's just silly gamer shit, honestly. Y'all are being a bunch of silly gamers, and you don't gotta be such a silly gamer. Yeah, like, fucking, expanding your horizons in, like, any field, any creative medium, like, is really only gonna be a benefit. So, like, you don't gotta be an asshole about it, because then, like, people aren't gonna, like, actually listen to you, you know? And that's, like, we can probably weave that into the whole thing that's been on my mind of talking to people on the internet is fucking terrible, and I hate it because social media has, like, eroded the room for, like, nuanced discussion. Like, people will just, like, people don't try to understand things. They just hear, like, there's just the hot buzzwords, and people use those buzzwords, like, incorrectly, and, like, don't actually understand what they mean. And, like, okay, a harmless example of this. Pizza Tower comes out. I don't know anything about Pizza Tower. Didn't hear anything about it. People are like, oh yeah, it's a Metroidvania. And I hear that, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's cool, but, you know, the 2D Metroids, like, I was always a Metroid Prime player. Like, my love for Metroid comes from Metroid Prime, because those were the games that I actually, like, played to completion, because exploration just felt just a little bit better to me. And a lot of that is just because, like, it's a 3D game with 3D maps, and you look around. And, like, the classic maps of, like, old Metroid, of Symphony of the Night, if your fucking 2D game map is just a grid, I am not going to know or learn where anything is. Like, that's just a fact. I'm not gonna fucking figure it out. So when I heard from people that Pizza Tower was allegedly a Metroidvania, I stayed away from the game, because I'm like, I'm just gonna get lost in this fucking pizza game, alright? And then I actually see it be played. My partner got it for whatever reason, because she's more into, like, she loves Symphony of the Night and those 2D exploration games. Like, played through at least one of the Bloodstained games as well. Like, she'll bang them out in a weekend. I just, like, can't fucking explore those types of games. But then I see the game be played, and it's like a purely level-based structure. And, like, the only thing I can really think of that's, like, a Metroidvania element is, like, oh, you go backwards through the levels, and you gotta get the, like, janitor guy, to like unlock the treasure. But I'm just like, I play it myself, I give it a try, and I'm like, this is structured like Crash Bandicoot. This is Crash Bandicoot and Sonic, actually. I've never played the Wario games that they're like heavily inspired by, so I don't have that frame of reference. But like, okay, there we go. Oh, I got another life! Ah! Every time, dude. Every time. Honestly, that's the main reason why I don't like that rare. Because I forget I have it, and I just die, and then I'm like, oh, well, game over. And then I respawn, and then probably still die. Okay, oh! I got shot. Yeah, Stone Golem got me. Alright. That's okay. We can definitely do a better run. I just kind of want to just, like, blabber for a second. About, like, trying to talk to people about, like, just trying to talk about fucking video games with people is, like, a nightmare. Okay. Just small tangent here before we get into our second run, because, like, this topic, I feel like this kind of, like I said, it's a less high-stakes way to, like, talk about this kind of thing. People on the goddamn internet, I swear to God, they see the term Metroidvania, they don't understand what that means. They think it just fucking means side-scroller. There are side-scroller games I'll play, but they're the ones where they just want you to, like, go through the level. Just get through the level, get the shit, redo it, but do it better. You know, like, the like, grading system that's in Pizza Tower as well, like, you want to get points, you want to get the better grade. It gives me a reason to replay levels. The levels aren't very long. Like, I was getting the same kind of hits of dopamine that I was from playing Armored Core 6. Because it's so, like, level mission grading based, you know? Do it fast, do it well. That's not a Metroidvania. So, like, people, they'll like, get the most, like, baseline understanding of a term, and then just start using that term. And it like I said, it makes it, like, fucking impossible to just talk about things with random people on the internet, because they're talking about something completely fucking different. Also, another thing I remembered before we get back into the game, we had a couple new followers. Streamlabs, like, follower shit was broken for the last one I got, but during the M&M stream, we had a new follower, new chatter, one known as Sea Queen. They're not in the fucking feed for some reason, but they're following me. My follower count went up. They're on the list. I don't know what happened, but shouts out to Sea Queen for the follow. But we also got, this one actually showed up in the feed. Yesterday, it was an off day, but I was in another Twitch, and they sent me a follow. So shouts out to Ross OWD, Rossau. I don't know what their name is, but shouts out to them. Thanks for the follow. Greatly appreciated. Yeah, man. Talking to people about... And that's the thing. It's like, I'm really passionate about game design, about video games. I'm passionate about music. You know, like, I like to talk about art and media, creative endeavors. And the way people talk on the internet sucks ass. And like I try to engage with this whole Pow World shit coming out, trying to, like, that, honestly, that's a good example too, because in a kind of a different direction, because people made claims based on assumptions, and then those claims were pretty dire, and people were really ready to get mad about that kind of shit. And then suddenly, Pow World is, like, actively, literally, like, ripping assets without doing any of their own work, which isn't true. Allegedly using AI. The developers use AI in a different game that it's about finding AI art compared to, like, real art. And, like, the devs, they don't strike me as the people that, like, super respect where they get their assets from. but like they traced it the good old-fashioned way. You know what I mean? That's what it ended up being with all their fucking pals. Is they found image meshes of Pokemans and then traced them, still made them. They still put in some work. I don't like it. I don't like the game, but ultimately a lot of what I kind of learned over time is like I would see gameplay elements about this game and be like, that sucks. Oh, ew, I don't like that. And anybody who has experience with like survival games and stuff, I was actually with Patrick Galactic, I was just like, oh, these elements, I don't know about this. And like in his own chat, he's like, oh yeah, no, that's like survival games just kind of do that. And it made me realize like, oh, I just don't like the survival genre. Like I like the build stuff, but like any game that's even close to the like build survival shit I like is like the survival elements are either non-existent or like to a minimum, like in Minecraft. Minecraft, you still gotta eat, but your food doesn't go bad. And I know there's other survival games where like, oh yeah, rotting food, that's like a normal mechanic. And I'm just like, yeah, that sucks, you know? So, you know, it's just, I don't like survival games. It doesn't have to be like taking a moral stance against Palworld because I don't like it. I just don't like that kind of game. So yeah, it's not going to appeal to me. Even if they stick fake Pokemon in it, it's not going to appeal to me because the core of the game isn't a Pokemon game. There's fucking Cassette Beast exists. I haven't played it, but that's a Pokemon. They were trying to make a Pokemon game, and they came up with a bunch of their own creatures, and like it looks kind of neat. You know, I want to play that game because that's actually a Pokemon. Justin said the only survival game they got into is Valheim. I've not actually seen that much about Valheim, but if the game is designed in a way to try to have more quality of life and make it more enjoyable to survive, or if like the survival elements are kind of like in the back and it's more about like building stuff and fighting stuff, that sounds pretty cool actually. It was like looking at Palworld, it's like, oh, that's why I didn't like Ark actually, because I was kind of wondering like, yeah, dinosaurs, catching dinosaurs and shit, that'd be cool, right? It's the survival stuff I don't like. There's gonna be a new survival game called Surviving Deponia. And it's gonna be a bop. What is Deponia? That's a very familiar term, phrase, thing. But cool. You know, for the sake of the survival game playing crowd, I hope it's good. And just really like the last thing I want to say about Palworld is like, I don't like it. You know, I don't like kind of the way they cobbled things together. Like it doesn't have like its own identity as much. What is Deponia? I'm fucking sorry, dude. All right. There's a certain level of popularity that like goes to my blind spot. If it's the most popular thing, I don't know what the fuck it is. Like, I don't know why that happens or how that happens. But all right. I think I've said my bit. Oh yeah, I was gonna say though, for Palworld, they're making tons of fucking money. I hope they can hire more people to kind of clean it up a little bit, kind of give it some more of its congruency, make it look a little nicer, play a little nicer. It ain't popular though, so you don't blame me. Oh, okay. I was gonna say, it's like, oh my god, is it another one of those things? Okay, that's good. But yeah, like if they put more work into Palworld with the money and success that they've seen, I'm fully willing to eat a lot of my words on just how it is. And even then, it's just like, I don't. Now learning that so many of these like bad things are false, there's no real reason to hate the game. I just don't like it, you know. And that's fine, but like people don't know how to like navigate that. You don't like bootleg Pokemon? It depends, you know? If they're good bootlegs, but I don't really care for the bootleg too much. Like when it comes to a lot of things, pretty much anything, like I am all for like being inspired by stuff, wearing your inspirations on your sleeve. Like I'm trying to get back into like making music again. I fucking looked up the chords for California Uber Allies by the Dead Kennedys, and like I'm the type of person, like I would want to put a line in the song that directly references Dead Kennedys in some way to be like, yeah, this song is in this song. You know what I mean? I think it's kind of scummy when people try to hide that, because then it's like, that looks more like plagiarism. You know what I mean? I don't like plagiarism, but, you know, not every, like, borrowed idea is plagiarism. Like, if you're the type of person to be like, oh no, like, I got this idea from this other guy, like, that's not plagiarism. Trying your very damnedest to, like, cover your tracks because you don't respect the source material, I don't like that. But it's mostly just because there's a lack of respect for, like, whatever thing they're borrowing from. So, like, while Pal World is, like, Pokemon parody, it doesn't always hit me with the feeling of, like, disrespect, you know? Like, it does feel like they put Mons in it to sell a game the same way they put guns in it to sell the game. And when people do things to make it sell, then it feels less inspired, but it's like, you know, it really depends. It's like, how much are you respecting, like, the source material, you know? And personally, I would like it if people were more willing to wear those inspirations on their sleeve. Just be like, no, yeah, I love whatever it is, and I wanted to do it myself. Enshrouded looks like a cool survival game. Dark Souls meets Valheim. I hope so. Because, like, the only clip I saw of Enshrouded was somebody climbing up, like, this really generic-ass, like... it looked like something that's a player built. They just, like, went up this big empty tower and then jumped off of it, and the caption was just like, oh, the exploration in this game's so cool. And, like, that gave it, like, a pretty smelly look, but I'm just like, I don't know anything about this game, so I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna weigh it in too much. But, like, yeah, you know, like, that, I hope it's good. But, like, I hear Dark Souls meets Valheim. Dark Souls meets a survival game. I don't like survival games, so no matter how much Dark Souls is in it, I'm probably not gonna like it. Like, I like Pokemon, but I don't like survival games, you know? Like, that's the thing, is, like, you can put a thing I like into a thing I don't like, and that's not gonna just, like, make me immediately enjoy it. Because there's certain things about Dark Souls that, like, if you make it a different genre, it's like, is this really Dark Souls anymore? Like, I like the combat of how those games work, but, like, that's not... Like, I would... A fucking Dark Souls Bloody Palace would be kind of boring, you know? Like, the combat isn't in-depth enough to, like, just carry itself on its own, just with a fucking sword and board, you know? Like, if they had a Bloody Palace mode like that, they would have to, like, really try to make honestly, like, it's the environments that make the Souls games. And I think that's part of why, like, Dark Souls 3, I don't hold quite as highly as, like, Dark Souls 1, even though 3 is a better game to play. It feels better to fight stuff. The enemies themselves, like, every boss in Dark Souls 3 is a good fight, at least a good fight, you know? Oh, Works RNG, what's up? We got peeps in chat. Good to see you here. Glad to see you. I'm talking about games and yeah, like certain types of games designed in a certain way. I like games. I also like games. And like I'll say, like whenever I'm like, I don't like this in a game, like that is not me saying nobody should play it. That is me saying that I have particular tastes and really grindy stuff that tests my patience is not high on the list. You know? I gotta get to the portal. I've wasted so much time. Man, playing on Monsoon, I forget that Monsoon's like actually hard. For so long, I just felt like normal was like, was it Rainstorm? I just felt like it was too slow, there weren't enough enemies, I wouldn't get money fast enough, so I just like always default to the Monsoon, but like, I feel like you feel it a lot more since, I think it's just the Void update. With all that, they just made Monsoon more punishing. Well, I don't think, yeah. We like games here, you know, and I want that to be the takeaways. Like, I have so much to say about video games and game design, again, like, because I am passionate about it, because I like games. I like to spend my time in the interactive media that is video games, you know? If I didn't like games, I wouldn't talk about it. But, yeah, like, whenever a game is like, who is healing this motherfucker? Oh my god. Who's juicing the Beetle Queen? Oh, this fucker. Get out of here. I didn't realize the fucking Beetle Queen came with a pocket medic. This is TF2? Fucking, where's your standard, TF2? Jesus. That was ridiculous. They were healing the absolute hell out of the Beetle Queen. I had no idea that they're like the elite healing is that strong. I wonder if this landing feels good. I don't know, because I can't even see it. I don't think it did. I don't know if the vending machine deals damage when it lands. It would be cool to do. But yeah, like when a game, when all it has to say is that it is an amalgamation of a bunch of different games, I don't, that never sells you. You need to have, like, some amount of, like, your own identity for me to, like, really be interested, you know? And, like, for what, like, some of these developers do, where they are, like, they're the types of people where I'm like, yeah, I don't have any background in like making 3D models. I don't know how to do animation, but I really want to make a game, and they just cobble a game together over like whatever assets they're able to get off of a fucking shop. Like, I totally respect that, but like, sadly, I'm just not going to be interested, you know? Because like, that's how I fucking make D&D campaigns. You know, I just don't sell them. But even then, like, the writing for the campaign would be the part that I would sell anyway. And that I do a lot of my own work. Like, I'm still inspired by, like, other things, other D&D campaigns even. I'll, like, take a little peek and be like, they did stuff like that? I like that, I'll do that. Like, my Theros campaign. I didn't make the world of Theros. I didn't make Greece. You know, but I did read about Greek myth, refresh myself on Theros-specific lore to try to make things make sense, and ultimately the reason why I even had the idea for the campaign itself is because I fucking played Hades. You know, I'm just like, oh, you know, I don't really care that much about like Greek myth, but the underworld's pretty bitchin', and played Hades, and I'm like, oh, I like to escape from the underworld. What if I did that in D&D? And Theros, Mythic Odysseys of Theros book. You try and steal identities? Yeah, a little bit. the Mythic Odysseys of Theros book had stuff in there for like running a campaign in the underworld, dealing with like how does a player succumb to final death, and it's like, oh yeah, so when you die, you come back, but you're a little fucked up. You have a layer of exhaustion that can't be removed by any means, and if you get all the way to like the max layers of exhaustion that would kill you, that's what results in final death. And I look at that and I'm like, that sounds a lot like hollowing from the Dark Souls series. So I kind of brought those things together. I made it difficult to recover from it, but like, okay, humanity. I just found like a fucking PNG of the humanity from Dark Souls, and that's the icon for the item, because it's humanity from Dark Souls, you know? And somebody asked me, I'm not gonna try to pretend it's not. But also, like, within my own document, I would probably, like, well, no, I'd still call it humanity. Because, like, it's a sprite of humanity. Like, I could call it, like, an Eidolon fragment or some shit, which would probably be more accurate, but, like, you know, the shorthand's kind of nice. People know what a humanity from Dark Souls is, and it functions as such. But also, it's like, okay, you can only use it at, like, you can only rest at temples, which are basically bonfires, and unlike Dark Souls, you can only restore your humanity at, oh wait, no. When you eat a humanity, it just goes in your inventory. Yeah, you still have to sit at a bonfire to, like, fix yourself. So yeah, it's just like Dark Souls. But I did that because, like, I saw the parallels there, and it made sense. And, like, when I like, tell just whatever group of people, like, what the campaign is, I'm just like, it's an escape from the underworld, you know? That's all you really need to know, is you want to get out of hell, and there's stuff. And then, like, those Dark Souls mechanics just came because, like, I was inspired by it. I saw those parallels there, it made sense. But I didn't really, like, sit down and be like, how can I make this more like Dark Souls? You know what I mean? And I don't tell people it's, oh, my campaign is Dark Souls and Hades and this and that. And, like, I could list, like, 5 video games, and then, like, also, like, Descent into Avernus, you know, because there's, like, a little bit of stuff about, like, living in hell that I kind of, like, look through that book to kind of just be like, yeah, for the context of D&D, like, what is D&D in hell supposed to be like? But it's also a different hell, so it's not going to be the same. And Avernus is only the first layer of hell. My campaign, you're going through all 5 worlds. Oh, hey, McFrenzy, what's up? Hey, Nanners, how's Risk of Rain? Yeah, oh man, I'm risking my reigns out here, what can I say? I already died once. It was pretty unepic. I'm trying to play faster this time. But yo, what's going on? Frenzy, good to see you in chat. You like the first one? Haven't tried the second? I like the first one. I was really, really bad at the first one. I liked the first one's aesthetic a lot. Like, I really liked the pixel art, and I would say the music in the first one's better. But, like, I was saying earlier, exploration in 2D, for some reason, just does not mesh with my brain the right way. So, like, I get lost in that game so much easier. I take so much longer to get through a level. I have so much more trouble just fighting stuff. But that's just me. Like, I don't think that Risk of Rain 1 is worse for that. Like, there are a lot of people that still like the first one more, because the 2D shit's preferable to them. And they fucking did, like, a whole remaster thing or something about it, where they, like, brought in a lot of stuff from this game back into, like, 1, which I think is awesome. I think that's so cool that they did that. But I personally don't have much of an interest in playing that version because, like, I mean, I like 2 because of how it plays. But yeah, they're very different just because of that. But like a lot of the same ideas are there. You weren't very good at it, but yeah, there you go. You weren't very good at it. Pixel art, music were very good. I definitely would say to give this one a try. Because maybe if you're a little more like comfortable with the 3D combat, I would say like definitely pick this game up. Whew. I also need to like, hang on a second. I was blabbering a lot and then gaming. I need to like hydrate. I need liquids. And some coffee. We got our 3 beverages, by the way. Classic stream shit. We got our vitamin water. We got our normal water. And we got our fucking coffee. So, at least as far as our beverages are concerned, I was ready for this stream. But, yeah, this game rules. I really like Risk of Rain 2. Because, like the whole just, like, you know, racing the clock shit of Risk of Rain, the creatures, the items, the vibes, you know, like it's still all there, but there was something special about the pixel art that doesn't quite translate to like a Unity game, you know, but that's fine, and like there's still like enough like uniqueness and like this fucking Clay Doomstrider. It's just like a pot man with like weird black tar legs. You know, like that's cool. Dude, what the fuck is this thing? I love any game or any like it doesn't have to be a game I guess, but just like any like fantasy or like alternate setting, like an alien worlds or a fantasy setting. Like, I want to look at a creature and be like, what the fuck is that? You know what I mean? Like, that is always what really, really pulls me, for just, yeah, like just a different planet. I want a planet to feel different than our own if it is a different world. And that does extend to fantasy worlds. And, like, I was thinking, like, Elder Scrolls, it's fine. Something about Skyrim just didn't do it for me, and I love dragons. You know, like, when it comes to a fantasy setting, aside from all the shit I just said, there's 2 things I like about fantasy, and that's dragons and magic. And magic, I mean, there's lore to the magic, there's stuff, but as far as Skyrim's concerned, ooh, Mired Urn, let's go! This shit's bonkers on Mercenary. You like the aliens? Yes, the more alien the better. Scavenger's Reign is a show you watched recently that felt like that. Scavenger's Reign? I have never heard of that. Interesting. But like if we're using the Elder Scrolls comparison, the one Elder Scrolls game I played where like I was just walking around and saw some shit and I'm like, what the fuck is that? Is Morrowind. Silt Striders alone. Like, I'll see a picture of a Silt Strider and I'm like, yeah! What is that thing? It's a Silt Strider, dude. Even fucking, like, Cliff Chasers to some extent. Like, there's more, like, weird, like, unique feeling creatures, I feel, in Morrowind. It's whatever the HBO streaming service is. I love that it's just like, yeah, whatever the HBO. I don't fucking know what it's called anymore. Yeah, good job, HBO. Really, really helping your fucking identity. That's funny. About humans that crash on a very alien planet. I'll have to take a look at that. I can't afford any streaming services because I don't have money. I mean, maybe I could get another free trial. I did a while back. I'm gonna die. I should probably get out of there. A while back, I did get like the free trial for HBO to watch Chernobyl, and like that was a good bite-sized series to just like watch in a week. I think it was like a 2-week trial. Because I did also listen to like the making of podcast things after I watched Chernobyl, because I was very fascinated by Chernobyl. Great show. I really liked that show. It was awesome. Like, one of the things I really liked when they were talking about it, the first episode, like they directed it like it was a horror movie, because like the radiation, it was like, it's an unseen horror. And people are just melting because this wave of weird energy is just emanating from the fucking explosion. And it's just like, yeah, that's such a cool, like artistically, like that is such a cool way to like examine that. And like realistically also, like, yeah, radiation is like eldritch, man. Like, it's fucked up. So like that was one of those things, like listening to that first episode, like podcasting, I was like, I want to hear what they had to say about like the rest of the show. Because while like after like all the shit goes down, you know, after the reactor explosion and everything, when people are trying to clean up, and it's about like the recovery, like that's interesting in a very different way. But like, yeah, just like seeing kind of like yeah, how the fuck did this happen type shit is fascinating. But anyway, that was just the last time I fucking did a HBO, but the scavenger place. I want to at least just like look at like some screenshots or something to see like, yeah, how did they do Alien? You know what I mean? That's the shit that I'm like, yo, I want to fucking see that. Okay. We took a bit trying to get that void seed, but sometimes creatures just get like caught on walls, and then it takes like 9 years to collapse the damn thing. Oh wow, encrusted key, dude, epic. What about you? Ooh, void uke. Sure. I mean, it's a good item. I like the normal uke more, but I'd rather have like a void uke than no uke at all. So, it's still good. And if we're trying to like kill the fucking Voidling, like the single target damage is better anyway. It's like the void uke pops the hell off if you get like anything that helps it at all. Like just more attack speed, more ukes. The more it blasts, the better. But yeah, like going back to the whole fucking fantasy worlds thing too. Like I played a bit of Oblivion, and when it came to like Oblivion itself, you know, like the plane of Oblivion or whatever, like that shit was pretty cool. But still, most of what I saw was like, yeah, it's like a weird hell place, and it didn't really like give me the otherworldly vibes that I would have wanted out of it. So it just kind of felt like a bit more generic fantasy, and then Skyrim just further went in that direction where it's just like trolls are trolls, there's fucking orcs, there's fucking dragons are just dragons, like there's not really anything weird going on with them. You know, it's cool, but like, it just, I don't know. I always felt like Skyrim was just missing something. And then when it came to like how the game actually played, I'm just like, I don't think I can stomach this, because the combat in Skyrim, you know, some people have more patience for it than I do, or something. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Sometimes I feel like I'm fucking crazy when I'm like talking about how bad it feels. But, I don't know, man. It's just, And then like I'll hear people be like, oh, well there's like all these like combat mods that you can get for it. And like I would hear people talk about those aforementioned combat mods, and it's like, okay, what does the mod do? Yeah, it makes it into like fucking turbo survival injury shit, where like you'll get all these status effects from like getting hit, and it just makes the game like way harder to get your footing because everybody just kills the shit out of you. And it's like, it's not really... Too easy wasn't the game's problem, you know? Because it certainly could be. If you built your character correctly at all, the game would be way too easy. But if you didn't do that, then the game didn't feel right. It felt broken because you made a broken character. And like, I feel like it's easier to make a broken character in Skyrim than it is in fucking Dark Souls, which is weird. Because like I would hear around the same time, because like at least in America, the games came out pretty close to each other. So like my senior year of high school was a lot of arguing that I was having more fun with Dark Souls than Skyrim. But a lot of why if that would even come up in the first place is because like people would be recommending me Skyrim. I tried playing that game so many fucking times because different people were like, give it a different try. Give it a different try. Give it another try. Play a different kind of guy. And I tried like every different kind of mage you could. And when I finally made a mage that was like, that worked, you know, fucking just destruction magic, just... That's combat. Never been a fan of the Elder Scrolls. Thank you, Patrick Galactic. I don't want to just be like, oh, they're overrated. Oh, but like they really are, you know. I think there's definitely there's cool shit in there, but that's what bothers me. If the games were just bad, it would be so much easier for me to ignore. You know what I mean? Like there is cool stuff. There are cool ideas, and like the I don't think it's wrong to try to make a fantasy RPG that has wide appeal, because I think more people, like Game of Thrones is evidence that more people would be more receptive to fantasy shit if they just gave it a chance. And unfortunately for me, like people see weird stuff and then they just get confused and they're like, what is that? And then they don't like that, they don't know what that is. More of a Fallout kind of guy. I mean, if you're gonna make that comparison, that's kind of where the setting does a lot of, it does a big difference, because like I like sci-fi more than fantasy. I like what Fallout brings to the table as far as getting to explore that world. That all said, I'm also the type of person that looks at Fallout and I'm like, yes, what a great RPG series. What a good role-playing game that happens to have guns in it. And like the assertion that Fallout 4 is a better game, a better Fallout game, or whatever you want to say, however you want to say it, because the shooting is better in Fallout 4. I don't agree with that. I mean, I definitely agree that the shooting is better. You can pick up a gun, and you can aim and shoot it real good. There's a stat in the game called guns. What the fuck is that supposed to do then? If you can just pick up a gun and shoot it good no matter what, what's the point? Why is it an RPG anymore? You know? That pisses me off. I love when there is a game with guns and there is a gun stat that tells you how good you are and how accurate you are at shooting a gun. You ever shoot a gun in real life? I haven't. I'd probably fucking miss. I've shot airsoft guns. It's not the same. Like, you can't just point, shoot, get your target. You know? The Fallout setting fascinates you, but the gameplay doesn't hook you. If you're talking about the old ones, I struggle to penetrate those games, and I want to play CRPGs, you know? But like, yeah, like New Vegas still has those RPG, like the RPG elements of Fallout are alive and well in New Vegas. And aside from like the writing and everything, that is something that Obsidian did. Like they did the series justice in that regard. Oh my god! Oh, fuck. Oh no, okay. Oh god. I don't know what the hell was happening for a second there, but everybody was like blasting out. But yeah, like the gameplay of 3 is unrefined because it was the game's transition to 3D, and you rely on VATS a lot because you have to. But like the thing that really bothered me playing 4 is like I liked having a high skill guns character because I want to go into VATS and hit my target. You know, it made the numbers better. So if I can just like in 4 I would aim my gun and hit target, and then go into VATS and it's like, yeah, 60% to hit because your gun's not high enough. It doesn't make sense, you know? Like things aren't the game elements are not lining up, you know, and that like really bothers me. But that all said, still I don't like Fallout 4 that much. Ultimately, there's still good shit in there, and that's the worst part. There are cool characters. There's interesting stuff. The quests aren't. There's not a whole lot of good quests, honestly. And a lot of the ones that are good are like very self-contained. Like I like the Silk Shroud mission, but it's also like we're kind of doing the like superhero thing again, just a lot better this time in my opinion. Or was it Silk Shroud, Silver Shroud, whatever. Cool detective superhero man that you get to like roleplay as. Like that was really cool. That was a really fun mission. And also, I forgot the name of the place, but the town that Hancock's hanging out in is also Hancock. Really cool, interesting character. Like, you know, like there's cool shit in there. It's just the main story is so like, the main story of Fallout 4 is just, I'm trying to think of a way to phrase it that's not just saying it's bad. It's really shallow because it really hinges on the idea that you are going to want revenge for your murdered spouse and you want your baby back. But like when I got to all of the exposition of like why all of that happened and where your son is, I'm just like, cool, sounds like my son figured his own shit out and is doing fine. My son's alive. It feels like going to where he's at would like fuck shit up. I don't want to really do that. And it literally, and like I got my revenge for my spouse because I killed fucking Kellogg's cereal died by my hand. And like the synth stuff was interesting, but they like fumbled most of it, and like so like I got to a certain point of the story and I was just like, cool, I don't care anymore actually. And that's largely why I stopped playing, and I didn't feel compelled to go back as like a different type of character to like see different things. Like it just did not hook me. New Vegas, I'll return to that game still. I'll still think of like, oh yeah, like the last few playthroughs that I started, I hadn't finished because I was doing like expansion shit and just a lot of game there. But like I'll be making decisions and be like, ooh, I really want to be this type of person, so it would make sense for me to say this. You know, it makes sense for me to take this side of this argument because a different character would think differently. And that is the mark of a good RPG, in my opinion, is something, like, you'll see those other decisions, and you'll wonder, like, what type of person would want to do that, would think like that, or whatever. And that's something I definitely get out of fucking Baldur's Gate 3. Like, that game, I want to make every character ever made. Oh, I need more money. Shit. Where's men? Die, man. But yeah, like, with the Fallouts, New Vegas is basically the good Fallout game as far as I'm concerned. 1 and 2, classics. They have not aged well at all. So, like, yeah, I really want to play Fallout 1 and 2. It's not easy to go back to an RPG that early, you know? Like, I really, really deeply wish that there was, like, I don't want a full remake. I don't even necessarily want, like, a 3D one, especially not by, like, Bethesda, like Bethesda proper. I don't even know if the writing people are still there for Obsidian, to be honest, because, like, apparently, was it Outer Worlds? Was their last game where they kind of tried to make, like, their own sci-fi thing, and it didn't really work. Ooh, rejuvenation there. You want to play Dungeon Keeper, but you can't stomach having to go. Oh my god, that's another. Oh man. Yeah. Dungeon Keeper is so cool. I love the idea of that kind of game. It's like fucking Lego Rock Raiders, but evil. That sounds awesome. Like, they were not, like, even back in the day when those games were coming out, there were not enough of those kinds of strategy games where it's like, it is all about making a base, defending that base, like, you know, getting your resources up, getting your little fucking freaks, and, like, of course, like, the whole thing of, like, you're defending your dungeon from heroes. I love that idea so much. But yeah, like, I feel like there's gonna have to be, like, some kind of spiritual successors out there. But, like, to get that original Dungeon Keeper experience, yeah, you gotta go through fucking DOS. That is not an easy ask for most people. Mechanic A, come on. Alright, we gotta get out of here. We got it, because we still have to go through the void. Oh my god. Okay. Portal's this way. The big thing was I wanted to get our rare out of here. I know I didn't explore down there, but it's fine. I've wasted a lot of time already. Tried Overlord, is decent but missed the mark. Oh yeah! Yeah, Overlord did look interesting for, like, those same reasons. I never really got around to playing it myself. I think that, like, it won't scratch the same itch for me, but I definitely like the idea of being kind of a bad dude rolling around with my little army of freaks. Like, I like rolling around with a little army of freaks. Like, going back to Baldur's Gate, like, I'm not an evil character on my first playthrough, but I definitely got my little army of freaks. Just, like, every fucking animate dead, conjure elemental, conjure other elemental, conjure woodland creature, find familiar, like, planar ally. Every single spell that lets you conjure a guy, I'm like, I just gotta, ooh, hang on a second. These guys are doing the mega suck. Almost got me. Oh my god. Oh my lord. That was scary. Oh, they have 4+ games now, you think? Oh, damn. I thought they only had like 2. That's cool. Shouts out for Overlord. Yeah, I really should give one of those games a try at some point. I think I have one of them. It just never booted it up for whatever reason. Like, I like the idea of being, like, a bad guy, but I don't, like, revel in being evil. So sometimes it can be kind of hard to, like, get the right tone. I feel like Dungeon Keeper nails that tone. So, like, I can be kind of picky. It's like, being bad in Baldur's Gate feels awful. But, like, it should. Like, and it feels awful in a way that, like, I don't want to feel good killing a bunch of innocent people, you know? And, like, I'd be playing on, like, an evil character, and I kill a bunch of innocents, and then I'm just like, oh, maybe that was a little too evil. Maybe I went a little too far here. Like, I fucked up the grove on a character, I saw, like, the dead named bears, and I'm like, I'm gonna cry. I don't like this. But, like, I can fuck up the grove without having to harm any bears, or have, like, the tieflings have to fight them. You know, there's a lot of nuance there, and that's something I really like about Baldur's Gate. It's like, you can be a bad dude, but you don't have to be like the most like comically evil fucking nutcase ever made. Like, there's so many variants just within being like bad. I love that. Like, the only way I feel like I can really be like make evil decisions in an RPG is if there is that like gradients. You know, like the variance between like doing bad stuff. Just like, oh, do you want to just throw this bag of puppies in the river and set all the orphans on fire? Like, no, I really don't. But like, you know, I got myself in an encounter with this like person that claims they're like a good guy, and I don't like the cut of their jib. I'm gonna maybe kill that guy and not feel bad about it. You know, I also want to play Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, because apparently that really goes into like working within what is classically been such a like binary good and evil Jedi Sith thing, and they try to find the nuance that can be within the Star Wars setting with Alliance, and I'm like, that sounds interesting. Because apparently just like the main story of Knights of the Old Republic 1 is a bit stronger than 2. Because that's like all the Revan shit. But like 2 exploring like those themes is like, that's a little more, I don't even want to say it's more interesting, it just is interesting. Like, I like a really good, just like solidly written narrative, like what would be promised for Knights of the Old Republic like that, but like, I need help. We got the tech though with the vending machine, so that's good. We got those stupid fireworks, which normally I do not like the fireworks item, but like if you have something that'll make it happen, like the vending machine, it definitely makes it better. No, stop throwing your junk and get over here. Oh my lord. Yeah, this is the hard part. Trying to like come into the void late. You're uh-oh. Oh. Well, like I was gonna say, you're just stuck with tough enemies, and you just gotta deal with that. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, that was rough. Oh, that was rough. You take a breather for a second here. But yeah, when games tackle like morality, when a game gives you the option to be evil, like just being like an asshole at every opportunity and killing everybody you have the option to kill, I don't care to do that. Like, that's not fun to me. I want to figure out what makes people do bad things, and not just do every bad thing because it's not what I would do in real life. You know what I mean? Like, that's not engaging to me. It's not interesting. Like, I like for Baldur's Gate, I have 2 different evil characters. One of them's Dark Urge, one of them isn't. And something about Dark Urge that is interesting in its own right is like, you can be Dark Urge and not evil. You can try to actively fight against the urge and be like, I don't want to hurt people. It fucking sucks that I was born this way. What is wrong with me? And that is like, there's actually a lot that the game gives you to explore that, and it's really cool. My Dark Urge is not fighting it, really. They are... For those who may know some of my Elden Ring adventures, my bleed build is named Scarlet Sakugan, and she's basically like... She's like an edgy OC of like a weeaboo that was trying to make like this bloodthirsty like samurai killer girl. That's like the conception point of Scarlet Sakugan. Like Sakugan, I wanted to specifically pick a Japanese term for cut that didn't have anything to do with like bleeding or swords. Like they just looked it up or heard somewhere that's what that meant. And they're like, oh, it's cut. Sakugan is supposed to be like to like take away like budget cuts is what it is like used for. So that's funny to me. But I made that character. They're a half drow, and they're dirging it up, but they're just like, yeah, I love killing guys. I want to kill people. But even then, there's some stuff that happened that like I felt so bad about who I killed, especially in the places where I didn't have a real choice in the matter because the Dark Urge took over. It's kind of hard to play that. It's a challenging playthrough just because like trying to stomach like the awful shit that I've done to people. But that's compelling, you know? Like I hate when you play an open world RPG and you mow down a bunch of people and the worst thing that will happen is some people are scared of you. That feels like so like tone deaf. You know, it feels wrong. I don't get any enjoyment out of like just, you know, going on a spree and the only response is fear. Like that feels kind of fucked up, doesn't it? When I kill people and something about the loss of their life feels like a real loss to the world and to other people. And like people won't necessarily be like, I'm scared, you run away. They'll be like crying over the corpse of someone you killed, like, why did you do this? What's wrong with you? How could you let this happen? Like, I want to feel judged for doing heinous shit. You know what I mean? It feels more real that way, you know? Like I said, more compelling. I think it's like a good way of phrasing it. Alright, we got attempt 3 going here. This time is the real time. Ooh, Trial of the Mountain. Yes, it is the real time. Okay. But yeah, like I really like when you have the option to do bad stuff in a game in such degrees where you can kind of like maybe do a couple things that are like, yeah, I don't know if like the good guy would do this, but you know, like I'm a fucking chaotic good, chaotic neutral that's like realistic in their decisions. Like I'm out for myself, but like the destruction of the whole world would kind of make my like it would make living really difficult. So maybe I don't want that to happen. Like I make a lot of kind of like, well, not a lot, but like I make a few choices in Baldur's Gate on my main character that like a quote-unquote hero would not do this, you know. But my character loves devils and demons. They think they're really interesting. They wouldn't want a world where like the hell and the abyss like can't really like if it was like completely cut off from like the natural world, they'd be kind of bummed out actually. But when it comes to like the main plot stuff, yeah, no, we don't want any of that. And like a good person will be like, yeah, give me the MacGuffin and I'll use it good. And I'm just like, no, I don't think anybody should have this. I'm gonna smash the shit out of that thing when I get my hands on it. Which, like, there's an extra layer of that too, because, like, you don't get to pick your patron, unfortunately. but the patron of that character for me has been Mephistopheles himself. And so the fact that Mephistopheles had that MacGuffin prior to the events of the game, I'm just like, yeah, he would either want it back or just be like, I don't want fucking mortals fighting over this thing. When you find it, I'm not even gonna ask you to bring it to me, just destroy it. And that's like a little bit of headcanon, but it's like, you know, there's room for that. That's really cool. And it's really fun. Because I think a basic, like, kind of more hero would be like, I am going to take it and I'm going to hold on to it because I'm virtuous and I will do the right thing with it. And like I think there's 2 characters that will be like, you should give it to me. And at least one of them, I'm like, yeah, you could probably be trusted with it. Maybe. But I'm still just like, yeah, no, nobody should fucking have this shit at all. I like the thing is, like, with my characters is like, he doesn't feel like he would trust himself with it because, like, my boy Khazad is like, yeah, I'm not a hero. I don't know, if I was given like supreme power like this, I probably would have used it a little bit. You know, I got some grudges that maybe I would kind of use this to, like, take it out on. You know what I mean? And, like, maybe you could say, like, recognizing that is like, ooh, that sounds pretty heroic to me, but not in the traditional sense, and that's kind of what matters. Also, fuck those goggles. I want real crits. That shit sucks. I want the real crits. I didn't waste money on the drone. I mean, drones are fine. I honestly, I like to have a lot of drones. I think it's funny. It kind of goes with what I was saying earlier. I like to have like a whole squad of freaks following me around. It's funny. But that's also part of why I liked Captain in this game, because he has like the one like starting item that like puts the little like the suck thingy by your drones. That's fun. Hooey, Rick. Rick and Morty. Jesus Christ, alright. Oh man. I think that's probably gonna be my last run for the night. Unless I get bopped like instantly. I really wanted to stream tonight. Really want to probably stream tomorrow night. Because there were like potential plans that I could be doing tomorrow, but I don't know if I'm gonna like be able to because of like transportation shit. I just don't have my own vehicle. And so it would be like I would have to drop my partner off at work and then drive like an hour plus out to a realm and then drive back and then have to go pick her up. It's like whenever the idea of like, okay, if I could take the car and like I just had to drop her off basically, and then she could like just get home on her own. Like when I do a long trek, I don't want to go anywhere at all again for the rest of the day. I'm not a huge fan of driving. Like, if there were never any other cars on the road, I wouldn't mind it nearly as much, but it's like, I don't know, there's all these other people around me, and like, I don't want to hit them, and I don't want them to hit me, and people just drive like shit sometimes, and there's like nothing I can really do about that. Not a fan, to be honest. Really not a fan of all that. Alright, no portal. We don't need it. I think we should just go to the... Oh god, it's already a medium? Fuck. What was I doing? This is like the better map. Or at least the one like... I feel like I know this one more than the snow map. Even though like the snow map, it's like more open and like harder to get lost, but I find a way. I don't know. Like, it'd be hard to get lost somewhere, but I think for anybody who's seen any of my past streams where I was playing like an old shooter, I think it's safe to say my sense of direction kind of sucks. Definitely not a strong point of mine. So like, yeah, oh yeah, it could be hard to get lost in this area, but like, don't worry. I'll get lost. I'll find a way to get lost. I could never use a path that really doesn't help. Like with when I was playing my first playthrough of Elden Ring, I found every item that just was like not relevant to me at all. I'd find like tons of shit that other people that were playing it like totally missed. But then like the Academy scroll that's like 2 feet from like a primary path with like a bunch of enemies around it, miss that for like 2/3 of the game. I'd be like, yeah, I didn't get like this basic fucking soul arrow. Like where is that? Oh yeah, it's in Limgrave, and I just missed the scroll the whole time. Man, I cannot fucking wait for Elden Ring's expansione, whenever that comes out. I was seeing shouts out to Sinister Stromboli. They're like keeping my my Elden Ring lore interest alive, because they're doing like a lot of like free cam stuff. Well, like they're doing a playthrough and they'll just kind of like cut to like the free cam to like zoom in on some details. Just like, man, Elden Ring has like so much in the details, and I love that shit. Like, yo, look at this statue. This statue actually depicts something about like Sumerian culture, so we can intuit other Sumerian influence for like, what does this mean? And it's like, oh yeah, this is just like, it's nothing like crazy plot revelations, but it's like, oh, what do these fucking like stone tablets with like the carvings on them mean? And it's like, oh, since it's Sumerian, it's probably just like, oh yeah, this is how many boats we have, this is how much land we have, and like, it's just like fucking tax documents pretty much. But like, honestly, like that kind of thing is really interesting too, for like historical shit, like in real life or in a video game, where like you have like, oh, what is this ancient text? And it's like, yeah, they were just like keeping stock of their cows or some shit. Like the ancient texts that have like lasted eternities. What does this mean when we decipher it? And it's like, I mean, what do people make notes for in real life? Like, I gotta remember to like do the dishes, you know, take my dog out. Gotta go, you know, fucking, oh yeah, it's like just a calendar. What does the calendar's days mean? Oh, it's solstice, you know, like, it's just basic shit. Yeah, humans just be living, man. You know, like, not every ancient text is like possibly some like religious text or ancient lore or some fucking mystical spell or something. It's like, nah, it's just fucking, it's like some medical documents, you know. I don't know. That kind of thing's always like, I guess fascinating, but also just like, it's kind of funny in its own way too. Because of like how much people like romanticize like these old cultures and everything. So it's just like, oh, everything out of the mouths of like an ancient people has to be more insightful than anything now. And it's just like, I think you're looking to the past for the wrong reasons, though. You know, I like, that's a lot of what it comes down to as well. And that's like a whole different discussion. I died. Oh my god! Oh my god, I'm so fucking rusty at this game. Okay. Man. I want to do another run, but I don't have the fucking steam for it, I'll be honest. But I kinda wanna just like talk for a little bit. I don't know. I'm still feeling kind of chatty, but I'm also feeling bad at video games. Man, yeah, like and part of it too is just like I want like an excuse to play Elden Ring again, so that's why I'm really waiting for the DLC. I guess it'd be a good time to talk about it now, actually. Like, why did I feel like playing Risk of Rain today? Basically, I really wanted to stream, but I kind of had no idea what I wanted to stream. And I had also come to, like, a recent realization that, like, blind playthroughs are, like... I don't dislike streaming them. They're definitely a lot harder to stream. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to, like there's cool shit of, like, oh, I can, like, you guys get to see me seeing things for the first time, and there's kind of, like, a unique element to that, but it's just, like, it's so hard to, like, be focused when I'm not familiar with the game I'm playing. And, like, some of the, like, classic shooters I played, like Heretic and Hexen and stuff, like, they were still a lot of fun. I still really like those playthroughs, but I still like, and Blood as well. Like, that was still kind of like in the back. Like, I'd seen it, you know, and they're old games, and people know these games. But like, yeah, I always struggled with those the most, I feel like, and it's really, really hard to go back to like a playthrough I was in the middle of that I had to like stop for whatever reason. And a lot of that is just like, life happened, stuff happened to me medically where like I couldn't stream. So like there would be time where the ad is starting soon. God damn it, I'm trying to talk about real shit. I can't snooze it, it's too late. Motherfucker. Well, for the subscribers at least, I'll keep talking. But yeah, like, it just was like this extra layer of like difficulty on top of it. And I feel like I have the most to say when I'm playing a game that I'm a little more familiar with. And like, there's more I can examine while playing. And like, it's still a new experience streaming a game that I've played before. And I kind of want to get into it, like when I mentioned like with my Elden Ring playthrough and like the whole Elden Ring crisis when the game came out, because like I had to play it when it was new. And I'm so thankful. Shouts out to my friend Eli for getting me a copy of the game, and my friend Anthony for helping me with my computer shit, because he was the one that helped me like get Windows 10 going on my computer, and then there were a bunch of issues with my computer actually running Windows 10, and like he helped me find parts. I think he got me one of the sticks of RAM. I know he helped me pay for some of the shit that's in my computer now, and like I don't know how the fuck to repay him because I don't literally have money. But like, if he's ever doing a creative endeavor, I need to like fucking stick his link everywhere and just be like, go support my friend. But he's just, I don't even know what he's doing for a job right now, to be honest. Doesn't matter. But with the whole Elden Ring thing, okay, I'm playing it now, and I just kept playing it, and I waited until like my gravity build that I played through on stream, that was like my 4th character. It was the 3rd time I actually beat the game, and then I went back. There was like some other characters that I was like really far in, and I was like, okay, I'll just finish it up with them. Like my faith build was like at the mountaintops while I was doing my gravity build stream playthrough. And like Dark Souls, I like streaming Dark Souls. I might go back to Dark Souls 2. I don't know. Dark Souls 2 is Dark Souls 2. But like, if I got a copy of Dark Souls 3 on Steam, I would love to stream that. If I got a legit copy of Armored Core 6, I New Game Plus I'd beat the hell out of that game. But there's stuff that I don't have because I don't own the game. So I'm not able to like get all the updates. They just added guns to that game. They just added new fucking equipment to Armored Core 6, and I can't get out all of that because I don't actually own the game. But like, I would love to just full playthrough of Armored Core 6, like including new game pluses, because I just love playing that game so much, and I want to show it off. I want to talk about like the narrative things that Armored Core 6 did well, because there's a lot for me to talk about, but I wouldn't have like had those thoughts already if I had streamed my first playthrough. And because I want to talk about like game design, I want to talk about like why I love the games I do, it kind of takes a little more context, and I don't get to have that necessarily on a first playthrough. Eternal Darkness is a little different because I'd seen a whole playthrough of it, but that was also years ago. That was back the fucking two best friends play. They're not even together anymore. They're not even friends anymore. This feels kind of sad to say, but like, you know, I have a long time ago. They're both over it now. I say both, eventually it was 4 people. They're all doing their own thing. They're doing well enough for themselves. But like, yeah, it was fucking like a decade ago that I watched that playthrough. So it's not exactly fresh in my mind. Out of any of those new experienced games that like the blind playthroughs that I was in the middle of that I would return to, it probably would be Eternal Darkness. But like I might start over. I don't know. Like I don't necessarily want to pick up where I left off. Although it was like at the start of a new guy, so maybe I could. But like Prey was like too good for me to play like my first playthrough on stream, just because there's so much to read, there's so much to take in, and I really want to just like let myself get pulled into the world of Prey to, you know, because it's like such an immersive sim. I want to be immersed, you know. The other Prey, however, like stuff that's a little more actiony shooter type stuff, I think it worked a little better. But even then, it's like I'd be playing through Blood and I get fucking so goddamn lost because I just don't know where things are. But yeah, so like that's kind of why I also picked like Risk of Rain for today. Is like I play Risk of Rain, I could just do some runs, try to kill the Voidling. I was not successful tonight. But that all said, somebody did gift me. They just sent me a code, and okay, I want to kind of tell the whole thing of this because it was really funny. I wake up today, and I get a message from like a friend, acquaintance, cool person that I kind of talk to on a Discord I'm on, and they're messaging me that they just send me a Steam key, and they're like, put in this Steam key and help me get good. And I'm just like, what game is this? And they're just like, it's a surprise. I'm just like, it could be anything as far as I'm concerned. Like, are they getting me a Dark Souls game? Like, is this a key for Dark Souls 1? I already have that. Are they trying to fucking push Power World on me? I'm not gonna help them get good with that. I don't even want to play it. I didn't know what the hell they were talking about. It was a code for Tekken 8. I have a free copy of Tekken 8. Like, I think part of the reason why I wanted to do a short stream tonight is because I want to fucking play Tekken 8. But I wasn't about to just, like, launch that right now. I don't know even how well it runs, and I didn't have the time to, like, set up the capture for it or anything. But maybe tomorrow, depending on kind of like what there is to do in Tekken 8, because I don't fucking know. I just know I wanted the latest Tekken. But depending on what there is to do in the game, might stream that tomorrow night. Might do some more Risk of Rain 2 tomorrow night. But I definitely want to stream tomorrow if I'm not going anywhere. So keep an eye out for me streaming at 9 p.m. Central Time. And I do definitely want to do a longer stream than tonight's stream. But one thing I also want to say before I go I made a post on my Twitter about this. Why they got little heart things on them? That's weird. But oh, it's because I'm not a follower. That's so fucking stupid. Hang on a second. I think I'm gonna have to do it in the chat thing here. It's like I can't follow myself. But a bunch of my emotes, like the eyes, I know the eyes are, and I think, I mean, I know the eyes are. A bunch of my emotes are for followers now. So if you're a follower, you're not subscribed, you can't get the animated ones. Like, those are for tier 1 subs only still. But they, like, Patrick Galactic pointed out on their stream, like, oh yeah, there's a bunch of slots for free emotes now. I'm like, oh, fuck, really? So I kind of moved a bunch of those around. So, like, the ones that, like, I really just found, and, like, the eyes, because, like, the eyes are, like, so iconic. That's how I greet people in other streams. That's one where, like, I would really want people to just do that. And, like, the lore one, like, that's a meme, you know. So, yeah, free emotes. Got some free emotes now. And, like, they're the ones that, like, when people did the, like, channel point redemptions, they would, like, always try to go for those, you know. So, really glad I could do that, get a little more fun in the chat from people. So that's, like, another reason why I really want to get on tonight. Be like, oh, yeah, I got some updates. I also got, there should just be an easier to find donation link now, wherever, like, in the about thing, which I think is just visible normally, right? Where it has, like, the link to my Twitter, the link to my YouTube. There's now a donation link there, so donations are a lot easier. Because before, like, there were times where people wanted to send me a donation or a tip or whatever you want to call it, and they, like, couldn't find it. Which kind of sucks, but, like, you know, if you can't find it, I'm not gonna be like, well, you need to do it, give me your money. Easier to find link now, so I can move some stuff around, trying to update things. Like, with me trying to get back into making music again, I worry sometimes that I'll, like, detract from the attention that I give my streams, but, like, my approach to streaming, I really just want to get on here, talk about stuff, play game. I never really, like, felt like, oh, I'm a streamer. You know what I mean? So, like, it's a lot of work. It is so much work, actually, to, like, really, like, get down on, like, the widgets, attachments, attaching things from your streaming software to whatever web zone, to your Twitch, to this, that, and the other thing. So, like, huge respect. Like, Patrick Galactic's been doing a bit more of that. Worst RNG as well. They're still in chat. Like, shouts out to those people that have really been, like, kind of focusing down on, like, yo, I'm streaming. I'm a streamer. I'm doing the shit. I'm in the shit. I'm doing it. Respect to those people. But, like, it's yeah, I just want to, like, show off the games I love, talk about video games, talk about game design, all that kind of stuff. Like, I have a lot to say, and I like using Twitch as just kind of the way that I record things, and it's a good venue to, like, say stuff. Because, like, I'm not that good at video games, all things considered, even though I've played them my whole life, and I play them with, like, all of my free time. That's never been what this is about. Like, it's never been about showing off how good I am at games. And, like, that isn't, like, the point of every Twitch streamer, obviously. But it's just to kind of give me a space to just get... I have so many fucking thoughts in my stupid brain, and I just want to get them out. And I feel like I can make interesting discussions happen. You know, and I like talking about games, what I like about games, what I don't like about certain games, in like a more constructive manner. And like kind of what I was saying earlier too about, like, trying to talk to people about this stuff on social media. It's a nightmare. People don't want to have conversations. People don't want to understand anything. They just want to take their stance and inject morality into media, because that's the only place that they that is what expression is, you know. I wish I could fucking link the article that my partner was reading, because it was about sex scenes in movies. So you know, if you're fucking an adult, maybe just, I don't know what else will come up, but it had to do with like this kind of like removal of like actual like human emotion and human connection in movies, the shift towards monoculture, and the internet has like a lot to do with that. I've also been really wanting to replay Metal Gear Solid 2. That was another thing. Another reason why I decided on Risk of Rain for tonight's stream. I wanted to play Metal Gear Solid 3, but I couldn't fucking get a PS2 emulator to work. That's also part of why I played fucking M&M's, because I was trying to play PS2 game, and then I could only get a PS1 emulator to work, and I'm like, the world needs to know about M&M Shell Shocked. And like, while that game is terrible, and there's almost no redeeming qualities about its design ethos, it still was really interesting to talk about, like, what really is wrong with this game. Because like, if every time I die I was just like, oh, trash game, yeah, this game sucks, bad game, like, that's not interesting, you know. And I think trying to really figure out like what the fuck is wrong with this game, like for real, was fun. 1111, make a wish. Also, welcome Swan Brother. What's my wish gonna be? It has to be a secret, right? Okay, I figured out my wish. But yeah, welcome. I'm kind of wrapping it up here. Yeah, I'm gonna switch it to just chatting, because I honestly, like, I don't want to go yet. Let's see. Mercenary versus Voidling. The Void won. Just talking about stuff now. Alright. Bro, you're so tired? Yeah, me too. Like, I think part of what's like throwing off the energy is like, I kind of like, I basically slept in, because I had a really funky dream last night. 3 dogs, 1 human is a bad ratio. Oh man, but 3 dog bow wow. Talk about Fallout earlier. Anyway. But, well, one of them is like especially a menace, and then the other 2 are just like old men, right? Because it's just like the 2 old beagles, and then you got the Weege now, right, Swan Brother? Yeah, it's a bit of a madhouse. You got a dog young enough that they're trying to eat their own shit. So like, yeah, but I was saying something. Oh yeah, so the stream things of the game choices. Trying to get PS2 games to work, because I really want to replay MGS 2 and 3 for completely different reasons. MGS 3 has been, and probably always will be, my favorite Metal Gear. I feel so fucking dumb for this shit. I discovered recently that I do in fact have a copy of MGS 5. Never played it, I don't know why. I love Metal Gear. I don't know when or how I got Phantom Pain, but I do have it, so I should probably play it. But I don't want my first playthrough of that to be on the air, because I'll just play the game really bad, because it's my first time with the game, you know? And that was one of the things that kind of got me thinking of like, yeah, these blind playthroughs are like, it's hard. It's rough on my brain. But I want to play MGS 3 because mechanically that game is so fucking good. Like, the story's good too, but the story is just like, it's just like a spy action thriller in the Metal Gear, and this is Big Boss's kind of, I mean, he's not even boss yet. He's not even the big boss. There's the other boss. He's just Snake. He's Naked Snake, you know? But MGS 2 I want to replay because of its themes and its memes. because with all the shit that I was talking about with like social media, how people treat interactions on the internet, with like things moving so fast too, and like things are just so commodified, that like your existence is commodified to the point where your very being is a product. So all people get to like expel their like ideals and their virtues is through consumption, and that sucks. And that is a lot of why social media has devolved into the types of discussions that it does. Is like, oh, you like this thing, you're a bad person. Because like fucking last year with Hogwarts Legacy, I definitely was side-eyeing anybody who got that game. I was side-eyeing people who were taking a stance in favor of it. But just playing it, I don't know if that makes you a bad person, but I'm not gonna fucking touch it, you know? Came back in the middle of some really deep shit and you missed it because you're cleaning up poo. Don't worry, I started this tangent by saying something about you having a dog that's young enough to eat its own shit. So like, you know, it's all good. But yeah, like I want to play Metal Gear Solid 2 because like a lot of those like ideas about memes and like the dangers of like oh my god, it's like a prophecy. Yeah, dude, for real. But like MGS2, when it came out, it was like ahead of its time with a lot of those perspectives, and I think that's so fucking interesting. And I want to see like where those elements like are still relevant, how they were like sort of prophetic. Like it's the themes of 2. Like I definitely think MGS2 is like the most interesting of the series. I think 3 is the most solid, but I also haven't played 5. Like gameplay wise, I hear so many good things about 5, and like what I've seen, I'm just like, yeah, this game looks incredible. But the story, like, it doesn't really carry the game, which is fine, I guess. But 3, I think, is so tight because like you are playing through the story, going through the areas you're supposed to go through, but each zone you have so much freedom of how to go about your mission. So many weird little things you can do that impact like the soldiers you're trying to sneak around. Like, this is a fucking PS2 game, and I blew up a food shed, and then I would go around the next area, and the soldiers are like, oh, I'm so hungry, and like all the guards are like, they look like shit because I destroyed their food source, so they're like they reacted to that, and like the whole sequence with the sorrow that recounts all of the people you killed up to that point, like, blew my mind. And there are still games today that don't even come close to that level of interactivity and like video game responding to the interactivity. Like that's the shit that's like, oh, video game. I'm gonna snooze this ad because I'm still talking. But yeah, like there's so much interesting shit in the Metal Gear Solid series, and like I want to talk about that. I want to play through it again, and I want to play through those games without feeling like I need to like perfect stealth them. And I feel like streaming will kind of help hold me accountable to like avoid like too much save scumming for that kind of thing. Cause like I want to play the games how they're kind of intended, where like if you get caught, you need to figure out how to get uncaught. You need to find a place to hide and like let the alert level go back down and then return to sneak mode, or just be like, oh fuck, they caught me, and then just kill everyone, you know? They're I love Metal Gear Solid. They're such good games, and like I'm not a fucking like gun nut. I'm not like a war man, so the like war is bad themes don't go over my head really. So it's like, yeah, these are fucking so good. But I think ultimately for playing the Metal Gear Solid games, like I would be better off just somehow trying to get the the Steam version of the remasters, the current remasters, because I think they are the like subsistence versions. I want the MGS4 Cameron 3. You have only one good stealth game input. What would that be? Is it hide? And then you're like, I don't know where to do it, or is it about a particular stealth game? I'm curious what you have to say, small brother. I'm really curious what you have to say about stealth games, honestly. Because I would say Metal Gear Solid would probably be typing 1 sec. Okay, I feel like Metal Gear Solid would be kind of like, that'd be really hard for someone who's not like actively playing the video games, because they're just kind of complex, because they're also like atypical in some regards for like the controls and stuff, which is like a thing to kind of wrangle. But like, and like Zone of the Enders, another like I believe Kojima directed video game from Konami, where like the controls are kind of fucked up and weird, but once you get the hang of it, it's like I couldn't imagine controlling JUT with any different control scheme, you know? I couldn't imagine controlling Snake and doing your stealth things in any other kind of control scheme. Oh fuck, I hit my mic and it's doing the buzz thing now, probably. God damn it. Oh well. Fuck. Why do you do this? Why do you do this video game? Okay, I fixed it. Alright, one time when you're like 9, your sister was 19, playing Hitman, got super caught in one level, and like 1 bajillion FBI dudes showed up, and you yelled, "Oh, geez, it's the feds," and she laughed so hard she fell off a roof. Amazing. Yeah, man, yeah. I mean, like, actually, Hitman came from like a similar era of like MGS 2 and 3, so it would have been like a similar time back then, so that's cool. I also, I feel like I'd probably enjoy the Hitman games because they do have that similar kind of like sandboxy, like figure out your way to complete this mission. At least like Hitman at its best. And that's like, that's video games. I love that shit. So, yeah, man. Fucking video. I love video games. For as much shit as I talk about on like other games, I wouldn't even call it talking shit. This is talking shop, you know? It's talking shop, not talking shit. But yeah, like there's so many reasons to want to play those games again. You like the achievement for completing a level and not killing any bystanders? That's often a challenge. Yes, I definitely agree. And like in Baldur's Gate, like I always talk about how it's really funny to me. Like I'm playing a charisma caster. So I got the high charisma and the high damage. And I'm like, I am so fucking deadly as a warlock, but I also like persuasion. And when those options come up where I can talk my way out of a fight, I feel like it's 100% what my character would do. But then me as a player, I get out of that, I get out of trouble, I get out of combat, or literally there's an enemy that you can convince to kill themselves, basically. They're like this like embodiment of gold, and if you can trick them into thinking that their toll is themselves, and their brain just fucking melts and they explode. Like literally talking my way out of trouble is so fucking awesome. But also I really like the fight stuff, so it's like can't go to bed until Luigi chooses Chewie for a while longer. If you lay down, he'll get in your face with his horrible, disgusting poop mouth. Oh no. Yeah, that's pups. That's a puppy for you. Puppy Ouija. What a fucking hero. But yeah, I think tomorrow I'll probably do another attempt or two. Gotta let them clean those teeth. Oh, it's like one of the like the good for their mouth chewy guys. That's good. But yeah, for tomorrow I might do another attempt at Monsoon Voidling. Also an ice cube. Oh, nice, nice. Gotta let him munch on the ice. Dogs love that shit. But yeah, want to try to do a couple more runs tomorrow night. I want to just kind of on my own play some Tekken 8, see what's going on. Because like if I'm like comfortable with it and I'm just fucking kicking the shit out of people as wrong, and like I can just hop online, maybe fucking see me do multiplayer, like maybe it would be a first, because like I tend to avoid multiplayer games on the streams, because like I feel like there's certain things that are just like so out of my control, and like I don't like having things on my stream that are like out of my control. You know what I mean? Maybe that's an autism thing, maybe it's a streamer thing, I don't fucking know. It's hard to know what is or isn't autism when you have the tism, you know what I'm saying? Because that's just like what I do, that's how I do thing. Yeah. The feeling went, yeah, no kidding. But I mean, that's why I have like the like mental health tag thing like for this stream, because that is like another thing that I do like to talk about. It's just like, why do I do the things I do? And like if there's other people that like are also autistic, like I mean fucking Zakinator, you know, I think they found me because I was a Minecraft stream that was like, oh, I'm autism, and they're like, me too, and like, you know, talking about that's interesting. And I definitely want, because of my own upbringing and not knowing for so long and like living a life, yeah, same hat. People, it feels good to see somebody who like has a brain like you doing a thing that you like, you know? Like fucking when I see the frontman of King Gizzard, Stu McKenzie, kind of showing certain elements, I'm just like, Stu, autism real? Could such an autism be a music man? And yes, I don't want to like fucking diagnose like celebrities or anything, but like the way the dude talked about how they make music and why King Gizzard has like 5 million albums, it's because he can't stop. He doesn't know, like he's fortunate that he's been able to make a living with music because he doesn't know what else to do with his time or his life but just make things and make music, you know? And I definitely, I resonate with that so strongly. And the thing is, like, he had an upbringing that kind of like supported that. So when it came time to just keep making music and perform music and be with a band and do all this shit, like he had the resources and was able to just make a living out of it, you know? And like, that's awesome. And I couldn't expect myself to do the same because I didn't live the same life, but it's like, if I ever found myself like supported and to some degree, like, talking to some people that I know personally that have just recorded any amount of music at all, and the people that have given me their instruments, that have showed me how to use Audacity, fucking my friends that gave me the mic that I use for streaming, like I'm gonna use that for recording music because it's a mic, it's a decent mic, it works, you know? It's not gonna sound great, but you can also lean into that when it comes to like making music. But like now through my friends, I have found more support for those kinds of things, and like for the stream too. I couldn't have done any of this if it weren't for like my friend Drew making a chiptune song a decade ago that I used for the intro. Like for friends of mine that did streaming that were kind of able to show me like the parts of it that are easy to like get things started, you know? Like, that's part of why I always feel so compelled to like shout out all my friends that do streaming that are like show up for these streams, because I literally couldn't do it without them, you know? And like I'll fucking shout out homie Apathy, even though like he doesn't have like a social media presence as far as I'm aware. Like the fact that he got me Tekken 8 if I make a stream out of that, I couldn't have fucking done it without him. You know what I mean? So, you know, just friends are cool. Supporting people's cool. I think with that, I'm probably gonna get out of here because the apartment's starting to heat up. Because I've learned over this past month of fucked up weather, if the weather is above freezing, like by a degree, it will get too hot in the apartment and we need to turn the air on. Also, if it is above freezing, we can turn the air on. If it is actually freezing, the AC won't work because the fucking, I think it's like the oil shit, the grease in it, like freezes. And you don't want to try to force your AC to work when that shit's frozen. It's bad. If it will even run at all, it's bad for the motors and everything. But yeah, it's hot because it's 37 out, so that means that the people below me are blasting the fuck out of the heat, and heat rises, so it just gets hot in here. I think I blabbered on for long enough. No, yeah. But it was kind of nice when it was 0. It just was cold. You're a corpse. It must be cold. I'm like a corpse that got jolted alive with like electricity because my blood's like really hot. Like it's funny playing through Hades because Zagreus, the dude you play as, like because he's from the underworld. He has like you leave like flaming footsteps in your wake pretty much because he's got hot feet, and I'm just like, dude, he's just like me. He's got hot feet. Like there'll be times I'll be like trying to like push the chair back here, and if I put my foot on the wheel leg things, it's like a fucking slide because there will be sweat on my feet. Like part of why I'm always like uncomfortable being like out and about for a long period of time, because my feet will get hot and I gotta wear socks, and then my socks will get wet because of all the sweat, and then I'm walking around with wet socks, and you don't want wet socks. So with that, I think it's a good time for me to go. You always have the coldest feet. I wish we could fucking equalize that shit, dude. Goddamn. Yeah, like I got my blood's too hot, dude. I don't know what's up with that. But yeah, so tomorrow night, keep an eye out for a stream. There will be some stream of some capacity. Risk of Rain, maybe some Tekken. Depends on what's going on in Tekken 8. Look forward to it. I look forward to seeing you guys there. Nice fucking... Is that Gengar? That was Crobat. Oh shit. Yo, nice Crobat. Crobat, underrated mod, honestly. But yeah, I gotta get out of here. I should get some more food in me, because I had like a fucked up dream last night, and then like I woke up all funky, but I had to make food for my partner for work, and also myself. But then once I did that, I was like, I need to take a nap. And this is like the first time that I did a stream in the same day that I took a nap, I think. And like napped before the stream. Bleh. Bleh. You know, I think I'm gonna blame that for why I wasn't able to kill the Voidling tonight. What was the fucked up dream? You had a computer moment? I didn't really describe it, but basically 2 nights in a row, the same bad person from like stupid bullshit in high school just was in my dream, like up to their bullshit again. And like last night, I was like, what the fuck are you doing here about it? Like, you know, to myself. Like I woke up, I was just like, why were they there? And then, yeah, and then this time showed up again on their bullshit again, and I'm just like, get out of here! What the fuck are you doing here? Get out of my dream! Stupid shit. But, you know, I took a nap, felt a little bit better about it. I mean, be gone, douche. Yeah, for real. I hope they've, like, grown up from then, you know? But, like, if I found out they were up to, like, the same shit that they always been, then doesn't matter. I don't want to, like, concern myself with them too much, because it's like, yeah, it's a fucking decades-old slight against me and other people, you know? But that's why it was like also annoying to like have a dream with them there. I'm just like, why? Why am I thinking of this? You know? But yeah, I wanna get out of here and chillax a little bit. I'll see you guys tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Central Time. I'm Rancid Nanners, otherwise known as Rancid, otherwise known as Nate, and I'll send you over to Lila Morningstar. They're like some kind of VTuber, friend of a friend that I encountered. They're playing Armored Core though, so go check them out. And I'll catch you guys later. Keep it skeletal.